All right, homework 18, finding percent increase or decrease. Says the price of a notebook was $3.70 yesterday. Today the price fell to $3.20. Find the percent decrease. So first of all, we're going to find the amount of the decrease by taking the $3.70 and subtracting $3.20. And so the difference between those two things is 0.50, 50 cents. We want to find the percent that it decreased by. We're going to take that 50 cents and we're going to divide it by the yesterday's price. Yesterday's price is where it started at, and then it changed to the $3.20. So always look for yesterday's price. If I divide that by 370, I get a crazy decimal. What do I get? 0.11. What was the rest of that?
135, 135,
135, 135. It says to round it to the nearest tenth of a percent. So the first thing we do is change it to a percent by timesing it by 100 or moving our decimal 2 places. Then we're going to round it off. So since there's a 1 behind that 5, we're going to say 13.5%. So on number 2, it says the price of a cup of coffee has risen to $2.70 today. Yesterday's price was $2.45. Find the percent increase. First of all, we have to find our difference. If we take $2.70 and subtract $2.45, what's the difference there? 25 cents. So if we take our 25 cents and we're going to divide it by which one of those two values? Yesterday's price, which is the $2.45. And if we divide 0.25 by 2.45, we get
0.1020.
So forth and so on. Changing that to a percent, we multiply it by 100, which moves our decimal 2 places, and round it to the nearest tenth, so 10.2%. And the third one, the percent of technology stock has risen to 9.83 today. Yesterday's price was 9.72. So 9.83 minus 9.72 gave you 11 cents. We took 11 cents and divided it by the 9.72, which was the yesterday's price. And so our crazy decimal we got was 0.013. Did you say?
0.113.
113. 0.113 something or other. So changing that to a percent, we timesed it by 100, which moves our decimal 2 places, and rounded to the nearest tenth, and we got
11.3.
Whoops, we shouldn't got 11.3 if there was a 0 in front of there. 1.1 is what we should have there. 1.1% is what we should have, because we got to move it 2 places, and one of the places is that 0. Is that what you got yesterday?
I did.
You did? Okay, good. All right. The next ones you did were the computations from your circle graph, and you want to think of the formula as being the percent times the total to equal the part. Sometimes it says what is the total, and sometimes it says how much did I spend on these 2 or 3 items. So the circle graph shows how the annual budget for a company is divided by department. If the amount budgeted for support, sales, and media is $37,500,000, that's a big number, what is the total annual budget? So this is just part of my pie chart because it's only 3 of the things on the pie chart. So that $37,500,000 is over here. We can figure out the percent because we're going to add up the percents from our circle graph here. Support was 21%, sales is 24%, and media is 5%. So 21 plus 24 plus 5 gave you what percent? 50%. So 50% as a decimal is?
0.50. .50.
0.50 times my total is equal to my part. And if I want to solve that for the total, then I end up having to do what with my 50%? Nope, divide. This is showing multiplying, so if I'm going to solve this, I end up having to divide by that value, right? Because I got to move it to the other side. So the total of our entire pie chart, if I take 37,500,000 divided by 0.50, is 75 million. Right? The total of my pie chart should be bigger than the part I spent on those three things. I wish I had that much money.
So total is dividing.
So if it says find the total, you're going to end up dividing, yes, because we have to solve it. If it says find the part or find what I spent on these three things, then I end up multiplying. We'll get to one of those, I think. I guess I didn't read her questions, but I hope she put one in like that. In a poll, students were asked to choose which of 6 colors was their favorite. The circle graph shows how the student answered. 5,000 students participated in the poll, so that's all of them that there are. How many chose blue or purple? So 5,000 is my total. Percent times my total equals my part. And I want to find the part that just chose blue or purple. So how many, I like the way orange is spelled. How many chose blue? 27%. 13% chose purple. So 27 plus 13 was 40%. And the decimal for 40% was 0.4 or 0.40. So on this one where I'm just looking for the part, that's when I end up multiplying to solve it. 0.40 times 5,000 is 2,000. So 2,000 of them chose blue or purple out of the 5,000 that were polled. So two different ways you're going to see it, where either they ask for the total or ask for part of the circle. The third one then, the circle graph shows how the annual budget for a company is divided by department. The total annual budget is $125 million. What amount is budgeted? What amount is, that's got to be typed different. What amount is budgeted, it's probably supposed to say, for support and engineering combined. So again, this is my total. I have support and engineering, so support was 25%, engineering was 15%, so 25 plus 15 is 40% again. So 40% of my total 125 million is going to be the part that I spent on support and engineering. What's 40% of 125 million? 50 million? So 50 million is the part that I did for support and engineering. All right. Simple interest. I think you probably had those ones yet. I can't remember how far she said she got. I think she said 12. Simple interest. Formula for simple interest is that interest equals principal times rate times time. On Alex, they're going to do it in 2 steps, but if you're using your calculator, you might as well just do it all together. The principal is the money, the rate is your percent, and the time is the time it tells you. So Rita deposited $8,000, that's her principal, into an account that pays simple interest at a rate of 4%. What decimal is 4%? 0.04, because I got to divide it by 100 and move it back 2 places. For 6 years, so my time is 6 years. So if you take 8,000 times 0.04 times 6, you end up with 1,920. Yep. $1,920 in interest. So number 8, Tom deposited $700 into an account that pays simple interest at a rate of 2% per year. How much interest did he get in the first 3 years? So my principal is $700. My interest rate is 2%. I used 0.02. My time is 3 years. And when you took 700 times 0.02 times 3, you got 42?
Yeah.
$42. Not much interest. Number 9, David deposited $400 into an account that pays simple interest at a rate of 6% per year. How much interest would he be paid in the first 5 years? So in order to do that, what would we do? 400
times 0.06.
times 0.06 times 5 years, right? So, if I take 400 times 0.06 times 5, you came up with
120.
120. $120 for his interest. The next ones were just basically writing your inequalities. Less than points to the left. Greater than points to the right. And then, of course, if we have the equal to, we have less than or equal to. So it might mean that it's equal to that number, but it could be less than the number. And we also have our greater than or equal to. So they just want you to translate these from words into the symbols. 5 is greater than or equal to y. Just like it sounds in the order you read it, 5 is greater than or equal to y is hopefully what you had on your paper. Number 11, y is less than 7. Y is less than 7. And then 12, 9 is greater than x. 9 is greater than x.
Those are different.
Those are different? Well, good, then you have a new paper. Write it on your new paper. Huh. They're different on a new paper?
No, this is the old one. So
That's the
you
old
want
one.
the new one?
Oh, see, that's what she must have messed up on. It was supposed to be these, and those are supposed to be on today's. So, yeah, fix those on put those on your new paper, because this is really what they were supposed to be doing when translating sentences into an inequality. The other ones are on the next page, so you'll see those again. You will see those other ones again on the next page. Then, these should be ones you don't have yet, probably. Okay, so we want to write an inequality to represent the following situation. The vehicle's fuel efficiency is more than 30 miles per gallon. Use F to represent the vehicle's fuel efficiency. So I would write what for my inequality?
F.
F is greater than 30, exactly. Is more is the same thing as greater than, right? F is greater than 30. The second part of that says to qualify for the championship, a runner must complete the race in no more than 45 minutes. So you want to think about what no more means. T is going to be, now if it's not more, no more, is it going to be greater than?
Oh, that's me.
No, it's going to be less than or equal to 45 then. No more means it's not more than the 45. So it could be equal to the 45, but could be less. Number 14, the cruising speed of the bullet train will be at least 150 miles per hour. Use S to represent the train's cruising speed. So at least
Greater than.
would be greater than or equal to. Because it could be the 150. So greater than or equal to 150 is what at least means. To be eligible for the senior admission rate, a visitor must not be less than 60 years old. Use Y to represent the age and years of the visitor.
I mean, less than 60.
Greater than
60.
or equal to. If I'm not less than 60, I can still be 60, right? So I got to have that equal to underneath that. Just like on the no more. Greater than or equal to 60. Number 15, at the airport, each piece of luggage to be checked must not weigh more than 40 pounds. W is going to be my weight. If I must not weigh more than 40.
Less than 40.
Less than.
More than. So,
Must not be more.
so it's not equal to,
If it's, can it be equal to if it's not more?
must not be more.
Yes, it can be equal to,
Okay.
right? If it's not more, it still can be equal to. So it's less than or equal to. So when it says that no or not in there, it still can be equal to. To be eligible for financial aid, a student must earn at most $30,000 per year. Use S to represent the earnings in dollars. At most. Less than or equal to. 30,000 is the most. I could be at 30,000, but otherwise I got to be less than that. So less than or equal to my 30,000. So when you get to that, or if you go to Linda's note sheets, it's going to give you a little table with some of those common things, at least, at most. But sometimes they'll throw a few of them in there. So you just want to keep track of when you get a new one, what symbol was that when you put that in there. And then the last three on this page is graphing and inequality. When I'm graphing, I use two different end marks. If it's the greater than or the less than or the greater than, I'm going to use an open end mark around that number. If it has the equal to, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, I use the filled in circle on that number. So if it says A is less than -6, I'm going to put a circle around the -6. This is my starting point. I'm right up to that point, but I'm not exactly on it. I might be at -5.9999999999999 or something crazy like that. Less than. Less than, notice how the less than arrow points? It points the same direction as the end of my number line. The less than is on the left side. So I'm just going to click and shade that whole thing. You don't have to drag. You just click on it and that whole left side will shade it. So if B is less than or equal to -10, then I'm going to use the filled in circle, meaning I am right on top that -10. The less than part of it is I'm shading to the left side, so I'm shading everything going that way. So number 18, if I'm doing B is greater than 8, what kind of mark do I want to have on the 8? The open circle on the 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to shade which direction from there? To the right, because greater than, notice points this way, just like the end of my number line points that way. All right, so that's what you were supposed to get done yesterday. Now we'll do homework day 19. So we'll be all caught up.